Hello viewers, welcome to our program on immigration and you. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again we have with us attorney David Nachman. David, welcome.
Thank you so much, Michael. Glad to be here with you.
Now, as you know, we had a lot of questions, and some of the questions we did answer on this program last week, and there are many more that we want to do today. But before we go to the question, there's an announcement we want to make. Both David and me, we have been writing an extensive guide to US visas, which has everything up to date. I mean, I had that guide done twice in 1990s and then in 2002. And since then, a lot of changes have taken place. This edition of the guide will be absolutely up to date as of the date of the publications. And it's going to be very extensive. It will talk about non-immigrant, immigrant visas issues, new policy decisions. I think David is holding in his...
This is the manuscript. So I'm wondering how many trees we killed when we did this book, but obviously very up to date.
We'll go to the temple and pray God and forgive us for killing the temples. We'll take care of that, no problem. Okay, let's start with the questions. By the way,
Michael, I understand that there might be some space in the guidebook for certain, right? We have certain space that might be available.
Yeah, if you need, we don't want to advertise commercially like everything, but few ads that are appropriate for our kind of publication, we may consider. So basically, if you have that kind of business that will help, that gets help from immigrants, or will be helpful if this is published in this guide, let us know, and then we can discuss about on what basis that can be done.
And you can feel free to email us if you're interested in possibly placing some kind of an advertisement or announcement in our guidebook. Please send us an email. The email address is on your screen right now. If you send us an email, we'll get back to you and let you know what the parameters are for that type of an announcement.
And hopefully the guide will be published by, definitely I would say, sometimes in October. Yep. And at that point, we will give you more information how to get a copy of guide and all that. Okay, let's go to the questions. This guy here is, I think, from California. He says, I'm a US citizen, and my father wants to come to US to visit me and my family for 1 month only to meet me, my children, and my wife. He has applied for visitor visa 3 times, and every time, consul has denied the visa and said, well, but you can apply again. And he goes and apply again and denied. Right. So why you said you can apply again? So what's the solution? What's the point of going again and again, just paying more and more fees, getting one more stamp and so on?
Well, why don't we tell our viewers why it's a problem? I think that probably the reason why the case is being denied at the consulate is for 214B.
Correct.
Because the reason why is that the father is an immediate relative. So if the father enters the United States, the son, who's a U.S. citizen, could immediately apply on a simultaneous I-130 and I-485 at the National Benefits Center, and what they can do is adjust his status here in the United States. So what the consulate is doing is sending an inadvertent sending a subtle message to, and maybe not so subtle, sending a message to the individual that what they should do is apply through the normal route. In other words, file the I-130, get the I-130 approved, allow it to go to the National Benefits Center up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and then do the I-864, get the I-864 blessed, send the visa over to India. Where is it, Mumbai or Delhi?
Mumbai.
Or Mumbai. Send it to Mumbai, and in Mumbai then the father goes in, answers the questions, and then gets his visa stamp and then comes over.
David, the problem is that not only this question, we had real cases like this in the past. And I said, you are a citizen, so file a petition, we can get him a green card, forget a visitor visa. But if my father is a businessman in India, right, and he's well settled, he doesn't want a green card. He doesn't want a green card. Why the council forcing him to become a permanent resident? He just want to visit me for a month only. And there's a rationale there, because if he gets a green card, he's going to be subject to the world income.
Right.
So why he paying millions of dollars? He's making money. He's a businesses. Why he should pay the income tax?
That's right. That's a very tough one, Michael. In fact, if that's in fact what's going on, that he is well settled and he does want to stay in India and does not want to come to the United States, then it's true. There's no conflict in the underlying intent. He really wants to be a visitor.
But I don't know. See, your answer is 100% correct. Partly, I was going to say the same thing. If nothing works, do this. and then after 2-3 months you can give up the green card. Then the consul most likely will issue the visitor visa because he knows that he had no intent. He had a green card, he gave it up. So that is the other option. But in the meantime, sometimes it might have happened, I don't know how long ago the third denial was there. And what were the circumstances at that time. The consul always is willing to consider favorably if he sees the previous 2-3 occasions, the income wasn't that good, whatever the circumstances, whatever the reasons were, maybe son was not even a citizen, that you can try again. Nothing harm, no harm in that. And somebody can fully prepare your papers and look at them and advise you. Okay, presentation is an important thing. People just take a paper, he keeps quiet, he's a paper, no, sorry, bye. He's not saying anything. I've seen people going, not saying a word, just like that. So, if there is a proper guidance, how to go for interview, what to say, forget the papers, answer the questions right, and convince the consul. Convince the consul that you are going to come back, he may issue the visa. Now, if that doesn't happen in this particular case, the other option is bite the bullet, apply for an immigrant visa, you can come get a green card,
and then
come here after 2-3 months, he says, I went there but I don't like it, thank you very much, here's your green card back, and then applies a 10-year multiple visa, most likely the consul. I mean, how can you say 214B?
Well, that's the thing, is that what you've done is you've proven by your action of relinquishing the green card that there's no intent to immigrate to the United States. It's absolutely right.
Okay, let's go to another question. A lot of interesting questions, right?
Yes, yes. And all things that we see in our office
every
on a
day.
day-to-day
That's why I
basis.
picked these questions, which, the daily things that we...
Yeah.
This guy says, I'm a US citizen, and my mother got the green card in 2007. Based upon the petition filed by me, because as you said earlier, citizen files for the parent, within a year gets a green card. So in December, she came in, was here. In December 2010, she went to India to look after a brother or somebody.
Family member, who was ill?
Who was in the hospital with a heart attack.
Okay, and how long?
She stayed there until this person... You're not clear whether her husband or whoever. He recovered. Until he recovered and wanted to come back in April 2012. Mother had a complete plan. Now, that means by April 2012, she had crossed the 1-year limit. So technically, she was told that her green card has expired and she could not go back on that.
And so she didn't apply for a re-entry permit before leaving the country.
That is correct. She has no plan to at all to stay more than a few months.
Right.
Now, her question is, his question is, what can be done for the mother to come back to the US? Now, she was told she cannot use the green card. And I would say that basically you can add anything, that there is a kind of visa called SB1. That is the returning resident visa. If the mother can reapply, put in all the medical records of the person and what happened, and convince the consul that there were unavoidable circumstances that prevented her. That's the law says. That you can qualify for SB1 if you can prove there were unavoidable circumstances that prevented him or her
from being able
going
to
back to the US within the period of time. And a very good idea. That other option is still there.
Well, let's explain to our viewers, Michael, exactly how SB1 works, because they need to know that it's not a procedure that we do on this side.
No, it is actually, in the consulate.
Correct. It's an application process that you make directly to the U.S. consulate abroad. You put in all of your documentation, and what you do is you make an attempt to demonstrate, as Michael properly points out, that there are extraordinary circumstances that held the individual back for a period of time. Now, medical records, obviously, for this individual would be good. If let's say, for example, we have an individual who's a student who's studying abroad, they can show their educational records as to why they were in the country for more than a year. Sometimes the SB1 gets approved. Sometimes the SB1 gets denied.
There's another option. Another option.
What's the other option?
Because he's a citizen. Her son is a citizen. He can file another I-130. People say, oh, can
refile, of course.
Refile another, so another 1 year processing will be done. But I'm saying, I see this person wanted her to go to get from consulate, come, not wait for 1 more year. He wants the mother to come right back. Because she already stayed so long, and 1 more year. But she can try both. I mean, there's no harm. She can go and try an SB1 visa. Somehow, I don't know why the consuls are not very, very cooperative on SB1s. But
It depends.
Depends.
It's discretionary. If you have good facts and you have good evidence, then the SB1s are successful. However, if you have situations where your evidence is not that strong, then of course it's
But this
purely
person has
discretionary.
both options are there.
Right.
Try for SB1, doesn't work, file a 130 petition and she'll come.
Well, the other reason why trying for an SB1 is beneficial is because it's cheaper to do.
Exactly.
So it's an inexpensive way to
And
try to
time-wise,
at
no,
least find
it
out
happens
what
in
their
one
position
same
is.
day. You go in, give the papers,
Exactly.
it either yes or no.
Exactly.
So try that.
timing
Yeah.
and money
Exactly.
are on your side
Exactly.
with SB1. And then if all else fails, as Michael properly points out, you can always go the route of refiling the I-130. There is more time involved and more money involved, but ultimately you'll get the desired result.
Correct. Okay, let's go to another question. This is from a young lady. And why I'm saying young lady, because the question when I read,
Okay.
it will tie her up.
Okay.
She's a US citizen. And she went to India to get married to a gentleman. And she says, gentleman, I hate to call him a gentleman.
Okay.
Or I should rather only man, not a gentle. Anyway, I understand the frustration that comes from a situation like this.
At least she's not calling him a boy, so that's
Right.
okay.
So she said, I filed the papers for him. He got a green card, CR1, conditional status. Now, in March 2012, he came in and within 2-3 weeks, he started acting nonsense.
Okay.
And he said, he doesn't want to stay with me anymore and he just wants to get away from her. And he already has another girlfriend from India which lives here. And he'll get his green card. He doesn't worry about the green card. He thinks the green card is there anyway. And that girl may be a student here, the old girlfriend. So he says, I'm just going to go get married to her.
So he came in on a green card.
He came on a green card with the CR1.
CR1, not CR6 with conditions. What was
CR6,
it?
yeah, with the conditional status.
So it's conditional
Conditional
status
for
for
2
2
years.
years. Okay, yeah.
In conditional status for 2 years and he knows, but or doesn't know stupidly or whatever. He's just leaving her, left her.
Okay.
He went away, said, hell with you. I don't not like you. I said, why did you get married? He said, I wanted a green card. He tell, I wanted a green card.
Okay.
Tells her. But I tell you that I have a girlfriend who's living here. After I divorce, I'm going to get married to her. Obviously, she's frustrated. She feels cheated.
Yes,
right?
of
We have
course.
sympathy with her.
Yes.
So
So are
she
we
is
solving her problem or are we solving his problem? Who has the issue?
no. The girl,
She does.
the citizen
Okay,
is affected. No,
Right.
You get married. That girl, you spend time with her, and after he comes here, get a green card, he's kicking her out and going away.
Right.
So that she's angry, and she says that I don't care what you have to do. Get his green card cancelled and have him deported. Please help me. I'm very, very angry. I cannot even sleep in the night. And this is some advice I give to all these people like this. First of all, based upon these facts, it is a good case where the immigration service is hopefully not likely to even apply for a waiver, because is what you should do, you immediately apply for a divorce. And in the divorce action, you put in the grounds of the fraud and misrepresentation. File that divorce, and then after getting that, even if the divorce is pending, you can just inform the immigration service what happened and how he has committed fraud, and send them a copy of the divorce action saying that it was a fraud, file in the court. With that on the file, if this person even tries to somehow make it, what is he going to say, good faith marriage or whatever nonsense, most of the time I think immigration service not likely. He stayed with her 2 weeks after the marriage, no document, no paper, and very clear, obviously. So there's a good likelihood of the immigration service. In other words, there's no proceeding that you can file a suit or deportation or anything.
Exactly.
You can just inform the immigration service what has happened, and then that will be on his file. And then the likelihood is that if he applies, or they may even take action, even waiting for the 2 years. They send him a notice of intent to revoke and then call him in.
Yeah.
So it may happen. But
when we get calls like this, we always advise the individual who's calling that there is never a guarantee that they're going to do anything, because they are minimally staffed, unfortunately, and so they can't handle.
But the
that.
last word is, we have a lot of more questions, but let us see what we can do in the next program. One word I give to those either girls or boys who have gone through this, I say, you are so good looking, you are so young, you have a whole life ahead of you. Think like it was a bad dream. Forget it. You are living in this. You few more years.
Move on.
You are keep on crying and keep on thinking of poisoning him, killing him, and all that. Forget it. Forget. You had a bad dream. Forget about it. Start your life again. You have a long life to go. That's the best word.
I think that's good advice.
And most parents of those girls are so happy, Mr. Fulwani. Thank you very much for, we are telling the same thing. She's not listening, but she's listening to you.
It's very good advice.
So that's, with that, I think we are coming to an end. And David, if we, hopefully 3-4 other good questions, maybe we can do so next time that when you come on the program.
Perfect.
And thank you very much for coming on the program.
No problem at all. Thank you,
and
Michael.
thank all of you for watching
Thanks.
the program. We hope that you find our programs interesting and also helpful. And please keep calling us, sending your emails to us from time to time. Whenever you need any help, assistance, you may have questions, or you want a copy of that book that is being published, we'll be more than happy to contact you back. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Send us an email.
Right.